up, everybody? It's Wandering Hippie, and welcome to the Hippie Circle. I thought today we would do something a little different. I figured today we would do story time. So I'm going to tell y'all the story about what got me hooked on fishing. I was about 4 years old, 5 years old, and my Uncle Dale, and my Aunt Linda and my mama, we all went up to this trout pond. It's in Dobson, North Carolina. I can't remember the name of the place. Anyway, we went up there, and we got us some tackle. They supplied the tackle and everything, and didn't even need a fishing license. And I was fascinated by it because it was a clear, super clear pond. Like you could see the fish. And it wasn't very deep, maybe 15, 20 feet deep. I'm not exactly sure, but it's not the point. I can remember being out there, and I couldn't even cast. Dale was throwing it out there for me, and I was reeling it in. He had put like a little grub on a hook and put it on a float rig and told me just to reel it in. And when I felt him pull on it to set the hook, well, I was pulling it back. I pulled it right by this rock in the water. And one of them big old, about a 2-pound trout snagged that son of a bitch. And I mean, he snagged it. I set the hook and immediately hollered for help because this fish felt like a whale. I'll never forget it. It felt like a whale. And to this day, every time I get a good sized trout on, I get that same feeling. And it's because my first fish was a good sized trout. My first fish was a good fish. It wasn't some little, most people's first fish is a little bank runner off the bank, little bass or little tiny panfish or something, And I'm not knocking anybody. Don't think I'm not knocking anybody, but I think the first fish you ever fight in your life, you try to find a fight that matches that exhilaration, and that's what you chase as a fisherman the rest of your life, if you get hooked. I mean, I was big into bass fishing for a while, for a long while. I was big into pan fishing for a long while, but I always seemed to come back to trout. It was just me. Anyway, we got the fish in off the bank, and man, like I said, it was the biggest thing I'd ever seen. Like, and I wanted to hold it until I looked in its mouth and I seen its teeth, and I was like, nope, and dropped it, and that was it. Anyway, there's a pond up in that I found close by recently that has some trout stocked in it. That's a segue. Here's my segue. And I had that feeling again just not too long ago. There's a lake near me called Village Point Lake, and they stock trout in there every December. They die off every, May or June, depending on when the water gets real hot. Anyway, the up there the other day, and I was just doing some pan fishing, and I throw it out there, and I'm just sitting there waiting, light me a cigarette like I always do, and went ahead and sat there. My float went down. I mean, and it went down quick. Like there wasn't no nibbling or nothing. He smacked it. So I set the hook, and I set the hook, and the first words out of my mouth is, "That is not a bluegill." I had my drag pretty light because I'm fishing bluegill. He started stripping drag. So I tightened it down, stepped down off the ledge I was fishing so I get down on the water, get down level with him. And I get down there and I pull him up, get him in, and I put my hands underneath the prettiest fish I had seen in ages, and it wasn't even that big. It really wasn't. It was about, it was about a pound and a half. Wasn't big, but man, did he fight. Had that little old fiberglass pole I was using just bent in half. And yes, I'm an old school fisherman. While graphite is wonderful for throwing lures, fiberglass is so much better for bait fishing. It really is. It gives so much, and the extra bend in the pole really just, it gives you the control you need. I like a slow action, so where it bends over the whole course of the rod. But yeah, trout's what got me hooked on fishing. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. If you want to introduce a youth or somebody who's never liked fishing, want to introduce them to fishing, you find a pay trout lake in your area. You find a pay trout lake in your area where you buy the fish per pound, and you take them. Most of the time, most places will provide the line, the rods and reels, the line, everything. Provide everything you need. So take them. And if you got kids, man, if you got a kid and you ain't never showed them how to fish, because you don't, even if you don't know how to fish, go out there and learn with them. Kids that are hooked on fishing don't get hooked on hard drugs. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed story time. Please stay tuned for more quality content. Like and subscribe. Take care of yourselves. And as always, I'll see y'all on the water.